In this video, we're going to show you how to install the lower control arm on your Explorer Interceptor located behind your rear wheels. With the vehicle raised and supported, we're going to go ahead and use a small pry bar to go ahead and pop off the center cap. Get behind the lip there, pry that out. I'm going to use a 19mm socket to go ahead and loosen and remove the lug nuts. Grab that wheel, remove it, and set it aside. On the back section here, you're going to locate your sway bar end links. We want to go ahead, loosen, and remove the nut here. Now this here is a 15mm, and the inside portion here is going to be an 18. Now we're going to use a thin wall wrench to go ahead and hold this. Now that we have this one removed, you want to go ahead and do the same for the other. That's going to allow us to go ahead and take our sway bar and swing it down away from the control arm. Now that we have the other side disconnected, go ahead and grab that sway bar and just push that down out of the way. Now at this point here, you can go ahead and put your jack underneath your control arm. Now we're not going to jack up the vehicle, we're just going to use it here to support the control arm, because the next bolt we're going to remove is this one here that goes through the knuckle. When we remove this here, the coil spring itself is going to have pressure. Now the shock itself will hold the knuckle, but you want to be careful with the pressure on our spring. So let's go ahead, loosen and remove this here. It's a 21mm on the bolt side. On the other side, it's a 24mm. We found that a box wrench fits comfortably on the other side. Let's go ahead and loosen this. Let's go ahead and slowly lower down our jack. And there it is. Our spring is free floating, so we're safe there. Let's now move to the inward bolt. Now on the inboard portion, we're going to have a 21mm bolt here. Now the other side is a fixed nut, so you don't have to hold that one. We are going to use the swivel to get up and in here. Now at this point here, our control arm is loose. Our coil spring has tilted off to the side, so we want to go ahead and grab that first. And then we're going to remove this bolt. And then remove the control arm. Now on the inside here, we have a coil spring insulator, and if you flip this over, there's going to be a button right here. Sometimes you could push that, or you might have to tap this out. It's going to come up from the other side, and we're just going to swap that over and install it onto our new control arm. Now you want to go ahead and line up the insulator with the hole here. You know, line that up, and just push that through. Go ahead and raise this up in a position. Now you can use a screwdriver here to go ahead and just kind of put that in and kind of wiggle this up and over. Get that lined up. Get that in. And go ahead and get that bolt started. Now, if you can't get the bolt to line up, bring your control arm down and wiggle it over. Get that to line up. There it is. And I'm just going to run that in. I'm not going to tighten it, but I am going to go ahead and use my jack to support that control arm. Now let's go ahead and get our coil spring and get that ready to go in. Now on the bottom side of our vehicle, you should have a rubber spring insulator here. It might have popped out. Ours is kind of stuck up in place, but if you're using the original one here, you're going to notice where the tail of the coil spring sits. And when I refer to the tail, it's going to be the end of the coil spring. So what you want to do is take the spring, you're going to line this up, into position and get that pigtail right in there. And then as you raise this up, you're going to go ahead and put the control arm up into place here and push that up. Now while that's in place, we're going to get our jack underneath the control arm to hold us in place. So now we have our jack supporting our control arm and our spring up in place. Just confirm where that is seated. And your spring itself, once it fits around the ring on the inside, that'll pretty much fall in place as default. Now you want to go ahead and get the control arm lined up with the knuckle. Now the bolt goes in from the back side here. Now at this point here, the bolt may not go through the other side. So at this point, you just need to either grab a pry bar or something to go ahead and line this up and give it a little tweak. Might also try using a screwdriver. You can go in here and just kind of move things a little bit to kind of get it to line up. You can always use a rubber mallet and just kind of bop the control arm here and push in on that bolt. Sometimes it'll pop in for you. Go ahead and get that nut started. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to lower my jack down and I'm going to move it further out. And now I'm going to jack this up, and we need to get our suspension into what we call a neutral ride height. What this means is if you had the vehicle on the ground on its wheels and the weight of the vehicle compressed our suspension, that would give us our neutral ride height. Well, we need to mimic that without the wheel on the vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and use our jack, compress our suspension until it just starts to move off of our lift. In your case, you're going to lift it just to the point where the suspension compresses. With the suspension compressed, we're going to go ahead and just snug down these bolts. And we'll tighten down the inside one. Let's torque the inner bolt to 159 foot-pounds. The bolt going through the outer portion of the control arm to the knuckle needs to get torqued to 196 foot-pounds. At this point here, we can go ahead and lower the jack or remove your jack. The reason why we compress that suspension here is that if you tighten it in its droop position and you torque these bolts and then compress the suspension, it's going to preload these bushings and they can prematurely fail or tear, so you don't want that to happen. You can also alter your ride as well, making it too firm. Gotta bring your sway bar up. Put your link in and get that nut started. Before we tighten this, we're going to go ahead and repeat this process for the other side. Let's go ahead and snug these down. Go ahead and repeat for the other side. Torque down your sway bar and link nuts here to 41 foot-pounds. And repeat for the other side. After you've completed this job, you want to go ahead and install your wheels, bring the vehicle down to your local alignment shop and get that taken care of. That's going to help prevent premature component wear as well as tire wear. Grab your wheel, line it up on the studs, and get your lug nuts started. Want to make sure you get these on several threads. And when tightening these down, you want to make sure that you do it in a crisscross or star pattern. And just snug them down. Then you want to go ahead and torque down the lug nuts to 110 foot-pounds. When doing so, you want to do this in a crisscross pattern. After it's torqued, Go ahead and grab that center cap, line it up, and pop it on.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.